So thank you very much to Chain for Travel and Camino for inviting us to speak today. It's great for me to be back in Mallorca as well, somewhere I've spent a lot of time over the years, mostly working, sometimes playing. So, but today I'm here to talk a little bit about how we're trying to relieve some of the pain in reconciliation and payment in travel bookings and hotel bookings using Bakuun's PayDocker solution. So, a little bit about who we are. As Uncle mentioned, we're a travel technology company founded in Singapore by Marco Bakulega, who's somewhere in the back there, I suspect. Okay, there he is. Yeah, and obviously not up here, but we were very excited recently for Cyril Ronc joined our organization. Cyril, many of you I'm sure will know from a very senior person in the travel industry, and we were excited to see that he believed in our project, so that was great news for us. Our business is really in connecting and empowering travel and hospitality businesses for growth. So it started out with a non-blockchain product, which I won't dwell on too much, but it has relevance to what we're talking about today. RateDock is a channel manager aggregator and has a powerful extranet, which our supply and demand partners, hotels and OTAs and tour operators, etc., can use to accelerate their distribution of product. PayDocker is what we're here for today, and PayDocker's Marketplace Exchange is using the blockchain to create efficiency in cross-border transactions. So obviously the public, as we well know, probably most associates the blockchain with cryptocurrency. Clearly very important and a lot of applications for that today, whether stablecoin, et cetera, I'm learning a lot about this stuff today. But obviously we also know that the applications extend far beyond that. When I was doing a little bit of research for this presentation, I was just looking around the internet to see what industries, what does the wider blockchain community think about where blockchain should apply. And I could have stolen any number of different graphics, to be honest with you, but they all said the same thing to me, that none of them mentioned travel as an industry. Kind of aviation is in there, but wider travel is not, which was quite interesting. Obviously, those of us in the room today don't share that view. We all believe in the blockchain in travel, and you've seen a lot of great presentations today about how people are trying to change that. So from our point of view in Bakuun, we were interested in the supply chain and payment side of it, particularly with some challenges that we'd had in our RateDock product in terms of receiving payments. So those who are actually in the travel business will be very familiar with some of these pain points. Multiple, often complex supply chains, large volumes of transactions to invoice and validate, high costs of cross-currency transactions in many cases, and a lot of reconciliation issues, frequency, time, and cost of dispute resolution. All of these things presenting challenges for the industry. So let's dive a little bit into PayDocker. We think this is a little bit of a game changer for growing travel businesses. So everyone who's trying to grow out of their domestic markets, and traditionally these businesses have faced a lot of challenges when competing globally, high transaction fees, slow cross-border payments, and a lack of efficiency and security can hold them back. Now, I'm not expecting to go through all of this, and if you can't read it from wherever you're sitting, don't worry. The point being that even on a simple invoice solution to invoice being paid today, there are many, many steps, and this one in the middle here is often where things get held up quite a bit in terms of any dispute resolution, back and forth, agreeing on transaction fees, generating invoice, and of course a high, a telegraphic transaction fee that may be high. So a lot of stuff going on in order just to invoice and pay for a service. So you can see, obviously, to summarize some of that, the tracking and reporting can be difficult. The disputes there and the transaction fees can be punitive depending on the currency. So enter the blockchain. So this is where we get involved in the blockchain. We had issues with our RateDock product, as I said, in terms of receiving, particularly on the currency exchange area. And so Marco, who is a solution-oriented guy, decided to build PayDocker. And today, all of our RateDoc customers use PayDocker to pay us. So obviously, the buyer data goes into the smart contract. The smart contract is at the heart of this, and obviously, networks like Camino are perfect for doing this. So the seller can validate, reconcile within there. Disputes can get resolved within the smart contract. It's fast and secure, and more than that, the payment network that we have enables the bank transfer to be received faster and at a lower cost than many international bank transfers in the normal way, including to countries where such payments are often very difficult. Obviously, once everything's agreed, we generate the object, which is an NFT, and the supplier can collect that and receive their payment into their local bank account. So, and it works. It's fast, it's secure, and it's efficient. And for us, it's proved very successful. So to summarize the benefits as far as we see them, it's a streamlined B2B transaction. It cuts the transaction costs, generates invoices automatically if that's what people require. It eliminates lengthy exchanges on reconciliation because the smart contract can take care of that. And overall is reducing the time and resources that people have to spend on simply paying an invoice. So that's one side of PayDocker, a marketplace exchange. The other side is in relation to hotel bookings. Over the last 20 years or so, virtual credit cards, or single-use credit cards, whatever you like to refer to them, have obviously boomed, particularly in the hotel industry, with the advance of dynamic rates and connectivity for people to make bookings using those dynamic rates. But while these single-use credit cards have been very successful and have obviously done a great job for people, they do have quite a number of drawbacks for people. Obviously, currency exchange being certainly one of them, depending on the nature of the transaction. Obviously, there can be limits on the number of currencies a given single-use credit card can handle. FX fees are involved, reducing the profitability. Disputes and refunds are little talked about part of this whole process, but whenever there's a dispute or a refund, in nearly all cases with virtual credit cards, that has to be handled offline. Obviously, there's a people cost to that, and also an actual cost to the travel seller, who then bears the cost of the VCC on the refund. On the supplier side, there are obviously VCC limitations. The hotel industry is not universally as automated as everyone would like it to be, and in many cases, they literally have to receive the VCC details and manually type them into a terminal in order to receive the payment, which is obviously opening up the opportunity for human error, and maybe not even doing it at the right time or doing it twice, etc. And of course, there are the fees to the merchant, to the supplier of a VCC, the usual merchant fees, interchange fees, etc. So all of these things we thought present an opportunity. So with that in mind, a very similar graphic to before, but similar to the object solution for invoices, the token solution as a replacement for VCC is using the smart contract at its heart. So you can see on the left, the agent creates the booking in the normal way and sends it to the supplier. But then the reconciliation all happens in the smart contract. And once everyone's happy with that, the agent then generates the token, which acts effectively like a VCC in that it can be encashed at the time in the same way a VCC is time boxed, as in it can be cached on arrival or departure, etc. The token here can be done in the same way. The payments are local across our payment network. The supplier at the given time collects the token and can receive the payment from the merchant, the agent who's made the sale. And it's obviously very secure because there's no credit card details being transmitted over the internet in order to do it. So the benefits here for both parties, really, obviously there's a reduced currency conversion cost for the recipient, an ease of payment distribution to hotels. So the hotel knows that it's going to get the payment, and we can automate the receipt of those payments. We can automate the claiming of the tokens on the approved time, but it's never without the permission of the agency because they've agreed in the smart contract when that's going to be claimed. So obviously we have wide currency networks in order to enable this, and then the part at the bottom where the blockchain is more public in terms of a selling point is that it's a smart contract reconciliation, so everyone can be convinced, especially the CFOs of both parties, and obviously the security of the blockchain in order to make the transaction happen. So just a few of the partners that we've got working on this today: Archipelago Hotels, a large hotel chain, Ease My Trip, OTA in India, Rakuten in Japan, who've working on setting it up. These are just some of them. There are others, and we've got a lot of interest in using this method to secure payments across the network, especially where we see it in Asia, where we are primarily based, where there are a lot of challenging destinations where VCC can be an issue. So one of the most compelling advantages of using blockchain in B2B travel is clearly cost reduction from this in this perspective. We eliminate intermediaries and optimize payment routes, so it's clearly going to drive down operational costs and increase the bottom line. But it's not just about the money. It's about making the entire process more efficient and reliable and giving people confidence to expand without a high degree of concern about how they're going to make things work in new markets. So with platforms with products like PayDocker, businesses can operate leaner, faster, with greater confidence in their transactions, and hopefully, or it's their choice, they either take more profit or they pass the benefits on to customers and make themselves more competitive in the market. So it's open for people to do what they want with the benefits of the blockchain. So as we look ahead, we see the role of blockchain in shaping the future of B2B travel becomes even more critical. We're moving towards that more secure, efficient, and interconnected travel ecosystem. Blockchain's not just a tool, it's the foundation that we're going to use to move the industry forward. And by embracing this, businesses can grow and stay ahead of the curve. So in conclusion, we think the future is bright, and blockchain is at the heart of the transformation. With solutions like this, we aren't just, and all the other ones that we've seen today, we're not just imagining a better world, we're all building it. And I think that's really exciting for me as someone who's relatively new to the tech space. I've been in the travel space a long time, but I'm relatively new to the tech space. And to see how many solutions people are coming up with to help build a future for the industry is really fantastic.